line? Do you think so? Mine?
No, Patrick, you're already live, so go ahead and
I need a drink.
Eat the chocolate.
I
As a matter of fact, y'all might have caught that at the wrong moment. Welcome to the BOFA Sports Webcast.
Chocolate.
Time to breathe again. And you got Patrick with me for this last episode of the year. Well, last two
Maybe.
Maybe. So,
Maybe. We ain't gonna say anything. Maybe.
I already said it. But we are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And here we are, Patrick, here to preview this first round of games in our new college football playoff system that has gone from 4 teams to 12. First year for it, and the time is finally here where this bad boy is about to kick off. So, before we start getting into the games, I find it my duty to go ahead and rewind back to what?
You're not gonna ask me about last week? So there's this really good game that I watched, Navy versus Army. That's the only game I'm even gonna point out because I don't think the rest. I think the rest of them sucked.
Well, that was pretty much the only game.
That was the only game. Out there. I cannot believe Navy owned Army the way they did, especially with what Army's been doing all season, and the Navy just come in and just like.
Well, rivalry.
Navy was physical, dude.
Well, hey, rivalry game. You know how those rivalry games are. And number two, I do think Navy was just a little bit fresher. They looked a step quicker. Now, Army played the AAC championship game and won the conference. So I'm not trying to make excuses there, but it just looked, Navy just looked a little fresher. They did. They looked a step quicker. And they did play with more force. And so now, what bowl is Navy in? I know Army's going to the Independence Bowl. More on that in a minute, but
I can find it. While you talk, I'll find.
All right. Well, as Patrick is looking for that, he said, I'm gonna go back to our graphic here for the BOFA Sports Pick'em Challenge because we're gonna just throw on these playoff stats on top of what we already have here. And if just in case you missed it, of course, Patrick is up by 2 games. Now, ignore the last week stuff. We know this was going based off of what happened during conference championship week. But those 2 games, the Georgia win over Texas and Army's win over Tulane, is what put them up by 2 points. So 54-24 is Patrick's record. I'm 52-26. We have not pointed out any of the exact final scores yet, although we've been close on at least double-digit occasions. So,
I mean, we have been close, but I think we should go in a different route next year, make it a little easier for us because picking the score is hard. I think we only did it like once or twice last year.
Yeah, that is very
But it's fun. I love picking the score. That's fun. So when I do get it right, I double flex.
So, with that in mind, Patrick, let's get straight to picking these 4 games.
I got it. Navy is in the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl against Oklahoma.
That's right. Yes. Playing Oklahoma. All right. Well, goodness, we'll see how these teams, Navy's teams will play. I don't know how Oklahoma's is going to look after transfer portal stuff, but
they lost their quarterback.
Actually, he is going to Auburn.
I knew he would. I knew he would, dude, because I've been telling everybody. I was like, look, if anybody's going to get all these transfer portals, Auburn is prime for all of them because they need wide receivers, they need a quarterback, they need running backs, they need coaches, they need benches, they need Gatorade bottles, they got everything.
Auburn had a good recruiting class too, though, right?
Yeah, but dude, you know as well as I do, most of those guys are gone too.
so they get recruited and then they're like, transfer portal.
Yeah, dude. It's like, dude, we suck. I'm leaving.
So, let's get into these these 4 games, these first round games, Patrick, new age, been talked about a whole bunch, and now the time is finally here where these games, these first round games that will be on campuses, are here starting on Friday, with Indiana going to Notre Dame. So both of these teams. So this is your 10-7 matchup, and this will be played in South Bend on Notre Dame's campus. The winner will see the number 2 seed Georgia in the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. So
replay at 1980, baby.
So Indiana had a good year, 11-1. Came out of nowhere from a lot of people's projections going into the season. People will say Indiana's schedule was not the best, but they handled the business, well, except for that game against Ohio State where they got blown out. But here they are, 10 seed, 11-1 for the season. Notre Dame, same thing, 11-1, and things looked really bleak after week 2 when they lost to Northern Illinois. But they have recovered in a big way and have just really destroyed teams ever since that time. Big win over Army, big win over Navy. Were able to win their conference games over teams like Louisville. And here they are, the 7th seed. And again, Patrick, this game will be Friday night in South Bend. So what do you see with this game? Who are you picking, and final score?
Man, look, Indiana had a Cinderella season, man. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you the committee got it wrong, because I think they deserve their opportunity and their chance. But man, Notre Dame is too strong. Plus, they're playing in South Bend. I'm gonna go Notre Dame 30-20.
30-20. All right, let's score. I think Notre Dame's going to smash Indiana.
They probably will, but I think Indiana is going to show up. I think they got humiliated against Ohio State, and I don't think it. I mean, they could. Notre Dame could smash them. I mean, I can see that 45-15 in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? And honestly, debated on if I was going to go with that. That's the reason why that score came up so fast. You know, but here's the thing. I think after that loss to Ohio State, Indiana figured a little bit about themselves. And that's what I'm kind of hoping for, is that they figured out something, that they don't go out and just a shame. You know what I mean? So I think 30-20 is a good score for me, but I could see that in a heartbeat going way south for Indiana really quick.
Yeah, with these games being on campus, man, I mean, I think that crowd in Notre Dame is going to be on fire. And I think you could say the same, of course, with the next 3 we'll talk about, with Penn State, Texas, and Ohio State. But, yeah, they're South Bend on a Friday night. I understand it's an in-state rivalry. I mean, I guess if you call it that. I don't recall these 2 teams playing a whole bunch against each other. And just the fact that they're in the same state, I guess some people would call it an in-state rivalry, but
I don't.
Yeah, like
I think Notre Dame's sissies for not even joining the conference. So
yeah, about that. But no, hey, you're not contracted with NBC. They don't want to lose that. But Notre Dame, I do think will win pretty solidly. Indiana will show up. I think they will put some things together in the first half. I feel the physicality of Notre Dame on both sides of the line. I think that would be too much for Indiana to handle. And I think they can win by 17 to 21 points. So I think Notre Dame's going to win. I'm going to say, let's go 34-17 is the score that I'm going with. I think Notre Dame's going to win this pretty solidly, and they will head on down to New Orleans to face Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. Next game on the docket. This one's interesting. We have SMU. We know there was some debates on whether or not they were going to get in or not between them and Alabama. Of course, SMU ended up getting the nod. They will go to the aforementioned Penn State. Penn State in State College, their campus. Happy Valley. That was the word I was looking for. So we're going to Happy Valley. This is your 11-6 matchup. Winner will face the third-seeded Boise State Broncos. I think that one is the Fiesta Bowl. So they will go to the Fiesta Bowl down in Glendale, Arizona, suburb of Phoenix. So I'll go first here, Patrick. Look, SMU has had a really good year. Same thing with Indiana. Kind of came out of nowhere and almost won the ACC if it wasn't for that last-second field goal by Clemson. Penn State, as you know, they're
without a kicker, mind you.
Yeah, and so Penn State, they handled their business up until they saw Ohio State, and then they lost to Oregon. Got a gift with Ohio State losing to Michigan, and then they were able to go to the Big Ten championship game where they lost to Oregon 45-37. I hope I'm wrong about this because I'm going to root for SMU to win. I don't know if they're physical enough to beat Penn State. I was looking at them playing against Clemson. Penn State's pretty similar to what Clemson brought, and Clemson was able to be more physical. SMU had a phenomenal comeback, don't get me wrong. But I think
great quarterback play, by the way.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I think Penn State might have found some things, even though they did lose to Oregon. They actually played aggressively. I guess they had to since they were falling behind quick. But they actually played physical. Drew Ayler was actually making some plays, and the running back tandem they have in that offensive line, I think they will be a little bit too physical for SMU. So as much as I would like to be wrong about this, I would love to see SMU come in here and go up to Happy Valley, make it Sad Valley. But I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to pick Penn State to win this game. I think it will be close, though. I'm going to go 27-21 for this final score. Penn State winning.
Well, like you said, Penn State and Clemson are a very similar team, but here's the difference out of Penn State and Clemson. Penn State is more disciplined than Clemson is. Clemson, they tend to have a lot of offsides, false starts, stuff like that, which really can obviously kill drives. Penn State doesn't do that. Now they do have their problems with Ohio State and Michigan when they do play Michigan, but and then like you said, they played very physical against Oregon. And if this is the Penn State that we would see coming against SMU, I think they're even more physical than Clemson is. And on top of that, they're far more disciplined than Clemson is. Penn State has everything to win, even against Oregon and Ohio State. They have the players, they have the talent, they have the coaching. They just won't do it. So as much as I say that, I'm still going to go Penn State. But I think if Penn State plays like they played against Oregon, dude, they'll smash SMU. They could smash SMU. Now, I'm not taking anything away from SMU's offense. That offense is fast, dude. They move the ball fast.
Very explosive.
And it's just a smooth. And Jennings, I think that's his name, quarterback for SMU. Man, he just facilitates so well amongst everything. I would love to see SMU win. I would love to see what they could do if they could get an opportunity to play a bigger team like Boise State, just to see what they could do. And maybe even potentially play Georgia or a high SEC team like that. With that being said, I just think there's just too much Penn State. Plus, they're playing up at – and I don't know why they pick every freaking animal. They're like Auburn. Auburn is a tiger, yet they want to yell War Eagle. And here Penn State is the Lions, but yet they play at Beaver Stadium.
It's named after a dude, not.
It don't matter. It don't matter. It's playing at Beaver Stadium.
It's not.
The Lions playing at Beaver Stadium on.
It's not named after a people.
I'm just saying, Charles. Pick an animal. Pick an animal. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna go Penn State. What'd you say?
I went 27-21.
I'm gonna go Penn State 30-20. No,
So you love 30-20 today, huh?
No, I think Penn State actually comes in and handles business, man. I gotta win it by 14. I'm gonna go 34. Take that back. I'm gonna go. I gotta come up with it. Penn State always comes up with some odd number when they win. It's like 19. How do you get 19 points in a game? I mean, come on, dude. They always got some weird number. I'm gonna go 31-17.
All right, 31-17, 2 touchdowns, solid victory.
Yeah, I think it's a solid victory for Penn State.
All right, so let's get on with this next one here down in Austin. We got my team, of course, the Texas Longhorns. They get to host the aforementioned Clemson Tigers down at Royal Memorial Stadium there in Austin. So we just talked about how Clemson was able to get into the ACC championship, beat SMU. Getting some help from Syracuse, of course, who knocked Miami out of there, so Clemson could have that spot. But Clemson got an opportunity. They took advantage of it, and here they are, 12th seed in the playoff. Oh, by the way, so the winner of this game will play Arizona State in the Peach Bowl. Yeah, the Arizona State goes to the Peach Bowl in Atlanta, and Texas was just there. Well, in Atlanta, of course, we lost to Georgia, so we're sitting here as the 5th seed.
Yes, you did.
So,
hey, I can't say. I'm not gonna say too much because we might see you again.
Yeah, yep, that is a definite possibility. But for now, we got some business to take care of with Clemson. What do you see in this game, Patrick? Texas, of course, is the only 2 losses they have this year have been to Georgia. Clemson had 3 losses, but were able to take advantage of their opportunity. What do you see in this one?
Well, Clemson is a physical team, but I don't think they have the personnel to be physical like an SEC defense kind of team. You know what I mean? So like when they play Georgia smashes them, right? When I kind of feel like when Clemson plays these teams, and it's not just SEC. This is when Clemson plays these teams that have a good defense, they really struggle with them. Really struggle with them. I mean, who's the team that they only scored like 3 points on? Who was the other one?
No, they scored more than 3 points in the other games. Now they did struggle to score against South Carolina.
That's what it was. They struggled to score with them. And I think they scored like what, 10?
14.
14. Okay. I honestly,
the game was 17-14. Yeah,
17-14. That's right. And obviously Clemson is going to play South Carolina a little tougher than other teams like that. But South Carolina brings a heavy defense and they struggle. And Clemson has their opportunities. They just can't put it together. I think Texas handles business. I think they handle business. I'm going to go 34-12 Texas.
Okay. I think Texas. So in these games, when you get into the playoffs, it is definitely about those lines. How good is your offensive line? How good is your defensive line? Texas has been able to be strong on each side of that ball against everybody but Georgia. And so I think just the defensive line, the pressure, I think the defensive line and linebackers will be able to get on Clemson's QB, Cade Klubnik. I think that's going to force some turnovers there. I think also they'll be able to run the ball pretty effectively on Clemson. I got respect for Clemson. I mean, Dabo Swinney, what he has done there, and still putting teams together that can compete for conference championships. I mean, he's developed a big legacy. Of course, he has those two championships he won back in 16 and 18. But yeah, I just think Texas has the better team here, and it's because of those lines. I think the offensive line will be able to run, and Quinn Ewers will make enough plays. You know, that's a concern of mine with Quinn because a lot of times you move the ball in between the 20s and then you bog down and you have to settle for field goals. I think he'll be able to make enough plays, and I have a solid win for us as well. I think we'll win by 2 touchdowns. I'm gonna go. Trying not to be too similar with these scores, but screw it. 27-13 is what I got. Is what I got for us winning Clemson. And again, winner of this game goes to Arizona. Goes to the Peach Bowl in Atlanta to play Arizona State. And here is the final game of the first round. Maybe probably the big game. Clemson and Texas. That's your 12-5 matchup. Tennessee and Ohio State, that's your 9-8 matchup. Prime time Saturday night in the Horseshoe in Columbus. The winner of this game will play the number 1 seeded Oregon Ducks out in Pasadena, suburb of LA, in the Rose Bowl. So this one is very interesting to me, just simply because I think it's a little bit of some contrast in styles. Looking at it on paper, Patrick, I think this is a bad matchup for Ohio because the offensive line struggles to protect the passer. They've had some injuries on that line, kind of mixing and matching some people, but they struggle to protect Will Howard, and they are going against one of the best defensive lines in the nation in Tennessee. Ohio State also struggled to stop the run. Tennessee has Dylan Sampson.
Yeah.
And they can run the ball well. And if they're able to run the ball, I always struggle with this name. Malialava, I think is the quarterback's name, Rico Malialava. Iamalava. He can make some throws down the field with that running game going well, play action passing down the field. That could really put Ohio State in the peril too. So I see this, Patrick. I think Ohio State, of course, they're at home. They're going to show up. This, I think, will be a 4-quarter game. I think Tennessee pulls it out, though. I think Tennessee, see these lines, offensive, defensive lines, I just think they have a pretty decided advantage. Unless Ohio State comes out like they did a couple of years ago in that Peach Bowl against y'all, showing some physicality there. I see Tennessee winning that battle. Now, if Ohio State, I guess a lot of it does depend on how Ryan Day wants to approach this, but Ohio State has some good receivers. I mean, some of the best in the nation as well, especially Jeremiah Smith. Maybe they need to go back to that because that's the team they have. I think because Michigan has kind of slammed them around a little bit, they're trying to show how physical they can be, and they're still not winning those battles. So it might be Ohio State saying, you know what, Will Howard, you're going to have to throw the ball because, I mean, that's where our strength lies. Receiver play, we got 2-3 receivers that will probably be first-round picks or whatever the case. And they can still run the ball. They got good running backs. They got Judkins. They got Travion Henderson. So, I mean, look, again, Ohio State's going to show up. But I just think Tennessee's line play, I just think it's a bad matchup for Ohio State. I think it will be close, though. I'll pick Tennessee to win 24-20.
Good score. A good score. Here's my deal with it. When we look at most football teams, we always say run the ball to open up the downfield play, the downfield plays. Play action, get that going, and then you can open up those downfield plays, right? Ohio State is in such a unique situation, and this is how Ryan Day recruits. He recruits 5-star wide receivers and 5-star tight ends. He's going to have to learn to use the downfield plays to open up his run game. He wants to be physical. He cannot be physical at the line of scrimmage off the bat. He's got to take those downfield shots. Get those linebackers to pull back. It's weird because, you know, we always look at it, and this is just anybody, we always look at it as like you got to run the ball to open up the downfield plays. With Ryan Day's offense, it's go downfield to open up your run plays. And if you want to be physical and you want to do the things that everybody says you can't, then you're going to have to do it this way. This is how you recruit. This is how you play. This is what Ohio State's strengths are, is always running our wide receivers. Always, dude. They have some of the best wide receivers, and they come from all over the country, and they always have 4 and 5-star wide receivers all the time. You know, 4 of them all the time. Like, use them. When they got in that game with Michigan, like you said, they wanted to be physical. So they ran the ball, and I'm sitting here going, how do you run the ball on a 3rd and 9 on your own 20? Like, use your wide receiver. I don't even think they made but like maybe 1 or 2 shots downfield, and both of those plays were big plays that got them down the field. So it's really mind-boggling what Ryan Day was doing during that game, because I was like, that's not what got you where you're at. That's not what got you to 10-1 going into a Michigan game. You know what I mean? So if he's going to do it, he has to play to his strengths. He plays to his strengths, then he can put a dent in that Tennessee defense. He could. But like you said, the Tennessee defense is ranked top 5 in the nation, not just in the conference, but in the nation. They're ranked top 5. And they're ranked top 5 for a reason. They're good. They're fast. And I think they have corners that can match up to Ohio State. But I do feel Ohio State's wide receivers are better than Tennessee's corners. Hairs. I mean, I'm not talking like leaps and bounds better. I'm talking about they can get to them far better than most teams can. So Ryan Day's got to use those abilities and use those advantages to beat a Tennessee team that's coming in, that's faster than you, more physical than you, and can put more pressure on your quarterback than any team you've ever seen. Here's the problem, though. They don't have the quarterback play that Ohio State had against us. They don't have that. They don't have C.J. Stroud running 75,000 miles before he makes a throw downfield for a 35, 40-yard touchdown. Yes, 45,000 miles he is running around in circles because he wore Georgia's defense out. Doing this all over the field. I don't know how the hell he done it. You know what I mean? Hell, I would have been tired. I'd have been like, look, coach, I'm out. I can't do this all day, you know. But they do have a good quarterback. But I do think it's going to be close. I think, like you said, I do think Tennessee edges it out in the fourth quarter. I think they do start pulling away. I'm going to go a little more than a 4-score touchdown or a 4-score win. I'm going to go 37-27. No, I'm not. I'm going to go 37-30 Tennessee.
Okay, a little bit higher scoring. All right. I think also, I guess just doing a quick little season reviews. Tennessee had 2 losses at Arkansas and at Georgia. Ohio State talked about the loss to Michigan, and then they lost a 1-point game in Oregon. And so, I mean, I think this is one of those times. Look, this is what we were looking for. When it came to this 12-team playoff, you have a lot of teams that are very capable of winning this. There's no team that's standing out. Yes, Oregon is probably the favorite, slight favorite, but they're really a favorite to win this. But I mean, if this is a year, there is a year where somebody like Boise State or maybe even SMU or Notre Dame or one of these other
Arizona
teams,
State.
Arizona State. If there's a year where they could come in here, be on a hot streak and win it, this is it. So it's going to be fun to have these games get started this first round with them being on campus. There's going to be some scenes there. So
and nobody wants to lose at home.
No. So yeah, South Bend, State College, Austin, and Columbus. Man, those are going to be some electric scenes when those things get started.
Hype.
Very hype. So with that, Patrick, let's talk about a couple of these other things. So, man, where can we start here? You mentioned the transfer portal. Let's go there because Marshall. So Marshall is coming off of winning the conference that I keep forgetting what conference they were in. They won. Is it not the American Athletic Conference? Was it Conference USA they won? I'm trying to keep forgetting which conference. Oh, the Sun Belt. My bad. There we go. So they won the Sun Belt, and then their coach left to take the same job at Southern Miss. Over 25 players entered the portal after this.
The whole team entered the portal.
Oh, dude. And now they said they're not going to play in the bowl game. They were supposed to go to the Independence Bowl in Shreveport, Louisiana, against Army, but now it's going to be Louisiana Tech in that game because Marshall said, man, we can't field the team because everybody just transferred out after the coach left. Now, Patrick, we've had these discussions about the transfer portal, and if the players, I don't think we're not against players leaving. We want people to have their opportunity to go wherever they feel will be the best opportunity for them for whatever the reason may be, whether it's playing time, program prestige, money now, of course, with NIL. But we're not against that. Because coaches can pick up and they can leave whenever they want, just like this dude just did. But the transfer portal now it feels like a way for some of these players to just really just continue playing and just steal spots from other people. And so
it's become Wild Wild West.
Like, for an example, all right, I'll give you a couple of them. You got Cade McNamara. So he was the quarterback at Michigan before J.J. McCarthy had taken over the starting spot. So McNamara decides, well, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to transfer to Iowa. So he played in Iowa this past year. And now he's back in the transfer portal looking for a 7th year of eligibility. 7 years? I mean, I know they doing COVID extensions, but damn, that was 2020. Like, how long?
Oh, no, Charles, this is the Great Depression extension. I mean, they're talking like, let's go back to the 1800s and see if we can get people to play longer.
Like, what's my man's name in Florida State? Yeah, he's the other one. Uiagalelei.
Yeah, he's in like his 7th year. The tight end at was it tight end at Miami?
Shoot, well,
he was like 29 years old.
Yeah, so and Cam Ward. This is his 3rd team that he's been with.
Yeah, he just at this point he's just collecting helmets.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, again, man, I am not one of these people who are just totally against the transfer portal. I understand if you want to go, and like especially if you graduate early. If you graduate within 3 years and you still have a year of eligibility and you want to go somewhere else, man, you done earned it at that point.
Yeah, do it.
You got your education, you did your thing. Let's go. But man, these cats just staying here just to collect helmets. Come on, man.
Yeah, I think there needs to be a little bit more of a what's the word I'm looking for? Control over the things. Like for example,
structure maybe.
Yeah, a little bit more structure for it. And I'm not saying that this is what needs to be done, but like maybe for example, you get one transfer in your entire career, right? Unless you graduate early and you can go. At that point, I think you could get a second transfer. At that point, but that's it. That's the only way you get your second transfer. You know what I mean? So there has to be some kind of regulation on it, and I do think that everybody's going to start willing it in, and because at a certain point, these coaches are going to be like, well, hell, the schools need to actually do it because they need to hit these coaches up for leaving early. You know what I mean? Now, I don't care. I don't give two craps if a school is like, we really want him. They buy them out of his contract. Hey, that's business. That is a business decision. But just to pack up your stuff and be like, deuces, there has to be some sort of consequence to that. You know what I mean? So even at the coach level, there has to be a consequence because these coaches cannot go, well, I'm expecting loyalty. I want loyalty. I need you to be loyal. So,
and then you leave?
And then you're like, hey, but by the way, I'm going to go coach at Oklahoma State. See you. Wait, coach, what? I just signed a piece of paper saying I was going to stay here because of you, and now you're rolling? It's the reason why when you look at some of these teams like Texas, Oregon's going to be one of them. Texas, Oregon, Georgia, Ole Miss, Ohio State, probably Michigan,
Bama.
No, not Bama. But I'm talking about the coaches that are there to stay. Kirby Smart's not going anywhere, and we all know that.
Oh, okay, I got you.
You know what I mean? Kalen DeBoer's, we don't know. He's too early. We don't know. I mean, hell, he done bounced out of Washington, and then before that, he bounced out of Utah. So I don't know. You don't know what Kalen DeBoer's doing, but these coaches, Texas with Stark, Dan Lanning at Oregon, Ryan Day at Ohio State, the guy I can't even think of his name at Michigan.
He might be on a short leash. Ryan Day, dude. Like,
he may be. But the fact of the matter is we know that Ryan Day's not leaving on his own accord. He may get fired, but he's not leaving on his own accord. Kirby Smart ain't going nowhere. Hell, we all know that. You know what I mean? So these players are more apt to show them loyalty than Kalen DeBoer or anybody else out here because they're not staying around. And Lane Kiffin is right there in that gray area. He's like, I love it here. And he may stay because, like, Ole Miss is treating him fantastic. Like, Nick Saban fantastic. You know what I mean? So we know that he may stay around at Ole Miss because he already went through the Nick Saban rehabilitation program. And Nick Saban's like, you got to put your roots in somewhere. So Lane Kiffin put his roots in at Ole Miss, and they're doing great, you know, within reason of Alabama and Georgia. And then they got over the hump of Georgia this year. So, I really think that the schools really need to start at the coach level, and then the coaches then can push it down to the student level, and you can probably get a little bit more loyalty somewhere around there. I understand that some people want to leave to get play time. You get your chance. You get your one opportunity, join the portal, go and do your thing, and if you graduate early, you get a second one. So just get control of it because it's just getting too out of hand.
The thing, and so going back to the Marshall case, I don't know, maybe this is me being old school. I don't know.
It is.
What people think. You don't even know what I'm saying yet, Patrick.
It don't matter. It don't matter. I already know.
But well, we'll see.
You wouldn't have said it if it wasn't going to be old school.
So here's the thing: if you are one of these players, coach leaves, I understand that the coach had said what you were talking about earlier. Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. I'm gonna be here. Come on, play with me. We could do some things. And then he ups and leaves. And so, and so if you're a player who's in that situation, I guess a part of me says, well, you know what? All right, you want to go, you go. Screw it. I'll stay here and we'll keep the program up. We'll go ahead. We'll build this bad boy up. It's on us anyway. We know we can't depend on any coaches. Hopefully the dude who does come on in, he could be loyal for a year, because I just think now
for 6 months. Give me 6 months.
It's everything's a year-to-year transaction now. Mm-hmm. I mean that's what we have, and you are good for the spot that you're at for this year. That's basically how it is. You said those other coaches, you feel more confident about them staying in their spots, like you said with Kirby Smart. Steve Sarkisian, I mean, he just re-upped for 3-4 years there in Texas. So you feel confident he's going to be there. Feel confident, well, sort of. That Lane Kiffin might be there, but sort of, yeah. Dan Lanning seems pretty solid at Oregon as well. So you feel pretty confident about those guys staying. But if you're a player and you're in these spots, I don't know. I think there's just something to be said for, you know what? I could have left just like those other people, because it just felt so panicky to me. The coach left and everyone's like, nope, I'm out. I'm out. And it just has that feel of, man, all right. Yes, all these people left, but I'm gonna stay here, man. I'll be a pillar here. I'll be.
What if they would have got Kirby Smart as their head coach? And everybody's like, retract. Too late.
You just want to be that steadying force of, all right, look, I'm still here. I could have left just like everyone else did, because that's what I feel like half of the transfer portal is. I get going into the opportunities and trying to take advantage of those things if you have the chance to get them. But some of it just seems real panicky to me, because
Marshall, 25 people.
That's a lot. Exactly. That's a mass exodus right there.
I mean, that is a mass exodus, and was like, I'm out, like a fat kid in dodgeball. You know, that's just that's way too fast for me. You know what I mean?
And it was like a day, Patrick. That's the thing. Like it was a day or two. Coach Lee
here.
Yeah, like like we out
like that.
Yeah.
I mean that's just, to me, if you're gonna leave, you need to leave for a better opportunity. I get that. No doubt about it. You know, especially if you're a 4-star wide receiver, freshman, and you're sitting behind a junior. That's going to be hard for you to get play time next year, because now he's a senior. You know what I mean?
Please. You understand that?
I understand that. 100%. 100%. Do you? You got to do you to go get your. You got to get your bread somehow. You know what I mean? Go with that. But if you're all your juniors are like, oh, coach is gone.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Are you gonna roll like that on him? It
just seems too quick for me, and it just sounds real panicky.
Yeah.
It smells rotten to me in some ways.
Either that or I can see this happening. Coach left. Now all this is coming out. I got to roll before I get caught up in the BS. And 25 of them was like,
you get hit up.
Hey, look, I saw what happened to SMU in the 80s.
Yeah,
it's about to happen to us too.
What's the corrupt NCAAs? What is it? So you got impermissible benefits, and what's the other one? It is one of their favorite terms. There it is. Lack of institutional control.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. That's their best one right there. What's the penalty for lack of institutional control? We'll make it up tomorrow.
We're gonna take these scholarships away from you. Why are we getting punished for it? Oh well, your man over there in 2006 did this. Yo, it's 2023, dude. We got nothing to do with that. We
got a whole new coaching staff. Hell, we got a new dean.
We weren't even born.
I was a glimmer of my dad's eye at that time. Come on, dude. I mean, dude, I was a plus sign on a birth pregnant. Come on, how am I getting hit for that?
Because we know it takes the NCAA 18 years to come up with a punishment, and so.
God. Back in my day, we would have punished them fast. No, you wouldn't have.
No.
Shut up, old man.
Oh boy. Well, Patrick, before we move into the NFL, there's one more thing that I wanted to mention when it came to college. So, Travis Hunter, Colorado defensive back / wide receiver, won the Heisman.
Mm-hmm. Congrats, by the way, dude. I say congrats, by the way.
Yes. Pretty close between him and Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty, but Hunter was able to get the most votes from the people who voted in. Fan vote, I guess, that Jeanty should have got it. But
agreed.
But Travis Hunter was able to win. And now I've seen this article, and it wasn't just exclusive to this article, but it's this paper, well, I guess online newspaper, Front Office Sports, and they were talking about Travis Hunter having a dilemma in terms of how he's going to play in the NFL. Now, with all due respect to Front Office Sports, I think this is one of the stupidest things that you could ever think of. Look, Travis Hunter can play multiple positions. Mm-hmm. He's in the NFL draft. If he goes to the NFL draft and you feel he is the best player on your board, because this is how the NFL teams do it most of the time. They don't really worry about needs. Now, I'm more of a needs guy. Like, if I know I need a defensive lineman or I'm trying to build up the offensive line, then I'm going to draft that way.
That's what I go for.
A lot of teams.
Or if I can't get it in the draft, then I duly mark that, find something else that I need, or I can trade off to get what I need.
Yeah, and you can use free agency too.
Yeah.
If someone's out there that you think could plug that hole. Sounds bad. Boom, boom.
Yeah, I was thinking the same, bro.
But
that's right up
there. And that's right up there with Boom Boom Room. But
if they cancel me because you said that, I'm gonna come after you. They're really cool people, though, by the way, just so you know.
I think we done said
but believe me, like when I tell people, I'm like, yeah, I'm partnering with the Boom Boom Room, and they're like,
yeah, not that Boom Boom Room.
I'm not that boom. Oh, now.
Settle down.
Boom Boom, like Boom Boom home runs.
Yeah.
Boom Boom, and you got to have a locked door over on the side.
Yeah. And
if they cancel, though, I'm coming after you, Charles.
Because we have this show to where we can correct ourselves. Plugging holes mean plugging the holes on the offensive or defensive lines. That's what we did.
Hey, whatever you want to call it when you're with your girl.
But most teams, they don't draft according to their needs. Most of them, they're gonna go with the best player available. So if Travis Hunter, from most of these draft boards that I have seen, if he is one of your best players available and your top 3 to 5 best players available, you draft him. And then you figure it out after that.
Yeah.
Even better if you happen to need a cornerback. That is Travis Hunter's natural position. You already know you can use him on offense. It's debatable if he's going to be able to play 100-something plays per game like he's doing at Colorado. But you could definitely put together some sort of a package for Travis Hunter to get the ball in his hands. If this is a dilemma, as that article in Front Office Sports ended, that's a very good dilemma to have. Like, and that's not a dilemma at all.
That's right. So there's a dilemma. I don't know what to do about it, but I got $10 million in my banking account, and that's a dilemma for me. I'm like,
yeah.
if it's that bad of a dilemma, I can give you my account number and transfer it at any time. I'm, Monday through Sunday, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, bro. That's your dilemma. Travis Hunter is a good player, man. I mean, I can tell you though, they definitely were not going on looks on who was going to win the Heisman. That's for sure.
Wait a minute, you didn't like that suit he was wearing? No,
that dude's ugly. He's gonna need football to help him out, bro.
just go ahead and just keep just keep the helmet on.
Just keep the helmet on, bro. You'll get any girl you want.
but look, man, but dynamic talent.
He's a baller. He's a baller. He really is.
Yeah. And so if your dilemma as an NFL team is to have a chance to draft, particularly if you're in your top 5, to have a chance to draft a guy who can play on both sides of the line of scrimmage, is very good corner, very good receiver. Your dilemma is, how are we going to use them? I don't know. I would love to have that problem if I'm an NFL team.
He would be the one exception where I tell you, like, if I have an option to pick him and I know I need a defensive line, I might look and go, I mean, we can get that defensive line in the second round. I'm just saying. It's like he would be that one exception to any of those rules because the dynamics that he brings to the table. He brings more to the table than most corners will ever bring to the table. I mean, and that's his natural position. You can put a package together. I mean, look, he may not play, like you said, he may not play 100 plays at the NFL level, but he'll probably get all the plays on defense and then throw him out there like, hey, we need that. We have wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2. Travis, go ahead and get wide receiver 3. Open us up a little bit, get us downfield, and then we're going to pull you back to make sure that you're able to play defense, right? Dude, put the package together. Dude, like you said, that is a phenomenal problem to have. I would love to have that problem. If that's a problem for most people,
I'll gladly take that problem.
You're all day. Yeah. I would love to have 4 or 5 of him on the team. You know what I mean? And most of the times you don't get to see that unless they're on the line. They're like, oh, well, we need you on left tackle. Well, today we need you on right tackle. Believe me, going from left tackle to right tackle, that is a hard transition because you're blocking this way on one way. The next time you're blocking that way, that's hard to shift back that way. You know what I mean? So you get those dynamic players on the line, but you hardly ever get them out there at your perimeter players. So I love it. I mean, he would be the one exception I would take and be like, if he's on the board, I'm going to get him.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, if he is a DB, I mean, that helps the defensive line too. A little bit of better coverage might help the defensive line and those linebackers, if you're sending blitzes, help them get pressure a little bit quicker. That one split second, the quarterback has to hold the ball because the coverage is real tight on them.
Mm-hmm.
Could be the difference in them getting a sack. So,
and that could be the difference of a 3rd down and 4th down on turnover.
Yeah, man, complimentary football, and so if you can get, I mean, a dynamic player like that, look, if I'm the GM or even the owner of the NFL team, I'm telling them right now, listen, I don't care about your crap. If he's on the board when we better get him. And you will figure it out. And if you can't, I will find somebody who can.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I make a lot of jokes about him. He's not that handsome of a guy, but with the helmet on, you get everything you want. Look, what he brings to the table is far more than what any corner will ever bring, ever. I mean, you literally have a defensive player, and if your wide receiver goes down, guess what you have? A backup wide receiver one. I mean, come on, dude. Like that's like having Patrick Mahomes in his prime with a backup of Tom Brady in his prime. Oh, I don't know who I'm gonna. It don't fucking matter. Just put Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady. It don't matter. We got 15 Super Bowls right there. You know what I'm saying? Put Travis out there. I don't care. That would be the only exception. Like, I will always draft what I need unless that man is on the board, and I will be like, get him, I'll figure it out. Period. Get him.
You might have to do the back in the day when Magic Johnson was available and the Lakers were sitting there in the top pick, and the owner, Dr. Jerry Buss, had told his people, I don't care what y'all do, but when that draft, and I'm paraphrasing here, but when that draft comes, Magic Johnson better be drafted.
He better be on this team. He better have a yellow jersey. That's it. I will tell you, man, if I'm Atlanta, I'm going, he better be a Falcon. Better be a Falcon.
Or there'll be some
furniture moving.
There'll be some jobs that will be open in the job market.
Not only is there a wide receiver and a cornerback open, guess what? There's a head coach open. There's an OC open. Defense is like, whoa, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Hey, he plays both sides of the ball. You're all fired.
Well, all right, Patrick. Let's move on to the NFL and what caught your eye from this week's or last week's schedule?
When I tell you Atlanta sucks, when you can only put 15 points against the Raiders and win by 6, I mean, look, for real, dude, for real. Raiders suck. We'll understand that, right? We know Carolina sucks. At least they're one game better than the Giants and one game better than the Raiders, okay? The fourth suckiest team in the NFL is the Falcons. I don't give a crap about their 7-7 record. They are the fourth worst team because if
they worse in Jacksonville.
They're the fifth worst team in the entire league. So, I stand corrected, Charles.
I just wanted to.
But you got the Raiders, then you got the Giants, then you got the Commanders, and then you got the Panthers.
The Commanders been good this year.
Well, let me finish. Hold on.
Okay.
3 of the 4 games you should win.
You're talking about the remaining schedule. I got you.
Yeah, I'm talking about the remaining schedule.
Gotcha.
3 of the 4 games you should win. But you can only throw 15 points up on the Raiders. Kirk Cousins, if he's the quarterback next year, I'm not a Falcon. I'm not a Falcon fan.
You're not doing it? No more.
I'm done with this. I'm done. I cannot deal with this. Kirk Cousins threw 2 interceptions. No, he threw 1 interception. 1 touchdown, 1 interception against the Raiders. And I don't think the Raiders had an interception in 16 weeks.
In the last 5 games, Kirk Cousins has thrown 1 touchdown and 9 interceptions.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going on in Georgia, but like between Kirk Cousins and Carson Beck, I'm like losing my freaking mind, dude. I have never seen so many interceptions between 2 people in my life. Do you realize in 5 weeks, they have thrown 26 interceptions in 5 weeks together? I'm like, they're a match made in heaven for each other, but they need to go play for 2 other teams. I don't have time for this crap. Driving me nuts, dude. I mean, to the point where I was like, Kurt, what are you doing?
He's lost out there. Where's Spinix at?
Dude, He's over there twiddling his thumbs, going, "Hey, bro."
It, and the coach, I think he's warming up. Raheem Morris, I think he might be warming up to maybe giving Spinix a shot here. I don't know. It's not looking the brightest. It's not a no-brainer for Kirk to be in there at this point.
Yeah, I mean he's failing on all levels. He is. I don't know what else to say except for he's failing at all levels. But we'll move on because I can feel it. I can feel it boiling.
I was gonna say I am impressed that you said we're gonna move on.
Yeah,
no more rants. No rants.
If I keep going, I'm gonna lose my crap, and when I do, this show will be another hour and a half, and all the people that watch this will be like, "Oh my God, they're getting out of control."
Yeah,
so I'm gonna move on because I can't deal with him anymore.
I feel the same way about the 49ers right now, but it's okay. We'll get to
that. They only mustered up 6 points?
Yeah,
against the Rams. No, I mean, look, hey, that's a better team.
Yeah, the Rams are good.
I mean, but come on, 15 points against the Raiders.
That should be, yeah. Y'all should score more than 50.
We should have won that game, but not me sitting in the fourth quarter going, what was that? I was like, anyway. Dallas won away. As usual, they'll win on the road, but they can't win at home. I don't care if they won on Thanksgiving. They still can't win at home.
They're coming.
Oh, yeah. To the ship, baby. To the ship. All we got to do is get a wild card. That's what they're saying. I ain't hear them now. Give me a wild card. You ain't getting a wild card. Cincinnati took care of business. Kansas City always takes care of business.
They actually won by more than one score.
I know, right? I mean, they scored. You know,
there was no reason for God to come on down and blow the wind on a pass that was about to be intercepted, and then the next thing I know, it's a touchdown to Travis Kelce.
But man, I would tell you, I thought the Arizona New England game was going to be a little bit better than what it was. But how about the Buffalo Detroit game? I mean, that was just score after score after score. No defense showed up. I was like, hey.
So real quick, Patrick, about that game. This is what kind of caught me off guard when I was hearing the preview to this game. People were acting like Buffalo isn't good. Now, I get it. They lost to the Rams in a shootout. That was a 44-42 game.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like, oh, well, they gave up that many points to the Rams, then it's going to get real ugly against the Lions. Like, well, Buffalo did score 42 points. So it's not like they got just beat 44-13. They got beat 44-42.
Yeah.
And Buffalo should believe every bit they could go to Detroit and win that game.
Yeah, absolutely. They're good.
Yeah, like, give me a break. I mean, did we forget that? Hey, they are the only team that actually beat God and beat Kansas City.
Yeah, surprise. I mean, even Jesus was like, "Whoa, hold on, did we just get beat?"
Yeah.
Hold on, my Chiefs got beat. Oh, my gonna be mad. What's up, Aaron? How you doing, man?
How you doing, Aaron?
But I mean, that's really all I saw. I mean, there was some good games. Cincinnati, but dude, Cincinnati's defense was wilding out. I mean, they were all over the place. I mean, Tennessee still scored 26 points, but man, I mean, they were everywhere. I mean, like, if that's the defense that you can play, hey, look, oh my God, they scored 37 points and the defense showed up and they won.
I know.
Cincinnati can win, actually. I mean, like, if you average 35 points a game, you should be up there. My point exactly. Defense plays this much better. They just play this much better, and then they win. Go surprise. I mean, I'm so shocked. So
he's talking.
that's all I got. That's all I saw.
Aaron's talking about Will Levis. So Patrick, have you seen Will Levis's mayonnaise commercials? That's what Aaron is referencing when he's talking about he couldn't find his way out of the condiments aisle.
Isn't he the one that is like very like intimate? Isn't it intimate?
Yeah, it's a I think it's a Hellman's commercial or something.
Yeah, dude. Like nobody made it. You know what he reminded me of? If you ever watched the movie, I'll have to think of it. It's got Ben Stiller in it, and he and he's a model. I cannot think. Zoolander. That's what it is. Have you ever seen that movie? He goes, "Water is the essence of wet," and then he swims off as a mermaid. That's all I can see, dude. Every time I see that stupid commercial, I'm like, "Oh God."
And mayonnaise. It's kind of gross if you're not like if you're not eating it with other stuff. Like I can give you go ahead, you put it on the bread or a burger. I'm like, yeah. I was wondering
right here.
Yeah.
Got me all bothered. Gross.
Like, you know what's one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. So in our crazy names of bowls that you got the Duke's Mayo's bowl.
Oh God!
And
then they throw the mayo on you.
Yeah, they douse you in that Gatorade bucket full of mayonnaise. This is gross.
No, I would tell my team if I coached it out and be like, yeah, we're in the mayo bowl, so we lose.
Or look, I tell them, I swear, if one of y'all even dare get that bucket and y'all dump that mayonnaise on me, y'all better run to that transfer portal.
Yeah. You better run, all right, dude. If they dump it on, I'm hugging.
Yeah.
If I get doused in it, you get doused in it.
I ain't the only one who's gonna be smelling like stinky mayonnaise. Ugh.
And the only here's the only thing I really like about the only thing I like mayonnaise on is a BLT.
Yeah,
I do like mayonnaise on a BLT now. Now, if you wanna get me to the Duke's Mayo Bowl and give me a BLT like after if I win, dude, we're winning all day. I'm getting me a BLT. I like that. But if you're dousing me with it, like turning a fire hose on, ain't happening. We lose. We'll come to wherever it's at. After that, we lose.
What are we looking forward to for next week, Patrick? Why are we over here? Aaron, I blame you for that. You're gonna sit here talking about condiments. So
that reminded me remember when Peyton Manning was on the Papa John's commercial?
Yeah. And we was going off for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, that show got carried away.
Yeah.
That show got carried away. Hey, you know what I am looking for? Hey, we might win. Atlanta might win.
Oh, y'all playing the Giants?
We got the Giants.
The Giants. Golly.
Yeah, but Aaron, we're still blaming you. We're still
yeah.
Your fault. You brought up mayo, and then you told me I was going to wear it in cologne, and then that's what started off. Put the bucket on us. Ugh, nasty.
Aaron's right. Yep.
He's like, no, it's y'all's fault.
Oh, so I think it's great for Michael Penix to come in too.
Please get Kirk Cousins off of there. I think there's going to be a couple of good games.
Don't leave, Aaron. Don't leave. We're not going to ask Russell Williamson to see it out. You're not going to ask that. No, you can stay on, Aaron. Not that bad.
Oh, God. He'll never let it go.
Yeah, you were never going to let that.
I'm never going to see the end of it. It'll be all right. Okay, so Minnesota and Seattle. I think that's going to be a pretty good game.
Yes. Seattle coming off a loss to the Packers, by the way. The Packers are looking good.
Packers are looking good. Houston and Kansas City, man. And dude, I'm look, I know Kansas City is right there at 13-1, dude, but man, they are prime for the taking. They're prime for the taking.
It's just a matter of one of these teams, like the Texans, especially. All right, so you're
man.
so you're the Texans. You need that win. You need some sort of a signature win to get you going. Because right now, Houston we know how good they were last year. Made a surprising run to the divisional playoff before getting beat by the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
And people are wondering, can you take that next step? This right here, you're going to Kansas. Yeah, you have a chance to show, hey, we can play with the big boys. So I think this is an opportunity for Houston to see if they could get the Chiefs. Because yeah, you're right, the Chiefs are absolutely
right. They're right there, man. And Patrick Mahomes is not. He is showing he is human this year. I mean, he's not taking the Chiefs like they could easily have had 5 losses. Easily.
He's actually taking a lot of sacks too.
Yeah,
he's gonna get
that line is not protecting him.
Mm-hmm.
But another good game, Baltimore and Pittsburgh. That's going to be a good game. Honestly, in my personal opinion, that's probably like looking at like close to the game of the week for me. Because I think that's going to be a phenomenal game. That and then there was one more I was looking at. Give me 1 second. I got to find it.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was one more I was looking at. Oh, yeah. Right here. This one. Oh, God. This one's going to be so good. Jacksonville. Las Vegas, baby. Battle of field goals. Woo! Can't wait.
I think that's the game that might determine the number 1 pick.
There's a lot on the line for that game. Just saying, dude.
Goodness.
That's what I told my kids. I might have said it on the show one day. You will not outsuck me.
Are you stupid? You're talking about you ain't gonna outtank us. You said that about the 76ers.
That's right. It was on the you ain't gonna outtank us. Hey,
yeah.
And here's what's sad is these teams ain't tanking. They just suck.
Yeah, this is
where they go. You ain't outsucking me.
God, what?
Man, this show has really gotten off the rails, man.
Yeah, we're keeping it going. It's still rolling.
Yeah, but look at all the comments, dude. I mean, I can see old women drinking wine making a commercial about this show.
Let them do it, yo. I want to see it. Whatever older woman is watching this show, or whenever we post it for the other social medias, if y'all decide that y'all are gonna go and do some audio and video remixing,
tag us.
Please tag us.
Tag us. We want to see it. I want to see it because I bet, dude, this would be funny. I think somebody could hack and slack this one and make it hilarious. Yeah. Just tag us. That's all we ask. Just tag us.
That's it. I'm not gonna try to hit y'all up for no copyrights, no nothing. No, just tag us.
Tag. I want to see what you got.
Yeah.
Just tag it. That's all I want to see.
That's all I'm asking for. Just tag us if you go.
But that's all I got. I mean, that Tampa Bay Dallas game might be interesting, but we'll see.
Tampa Bay. I think they about to put Dallas out their misery. Number 1, Dallas is at home. Number 2, number 2, I just think Tampa Bay is playing some good ball right now.
Yeah,
I think that Dallas might get mobbed. And I want to see, man, because this year's been a little bit different than previous years. Those fans there in Jerry World, they've been booing. I mean, they've been booing it up. You know, I said that's what we need to do. If you want some changes, start booing. Look,
they're buying tickets just to go boo them.
I want to see Cowboys fans show up like Giants fans have been showing up. Paper bags over their heads, talking about sell the team, flying banners over the stadium. Get control of this dumpster fire.
Somebody needs to do something because Dallas is heading in a very wrong direction.
And it will never change, as you have pointed it out, as I have pointed it out. It will never change as long as Jerry Jones is the owner.
Yep. They will never win a Super Bowl under him. Never.
No. So
never again.
Well, Patrick, before we hop on out, I wanted to throw a couple of quick things in here. There's been a rash of diva players going on lately. You have A.J. Brown, receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles, complaining about targets. Deebo Samuel for the 49ers, same thing. And then he promptly goes to drop a wide open pass. And then
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And then
targeting.
Yeah.
Do we play football or do we ballerina?
And then you have a linebacker for the 49ers. This dude, all right, Devondre Campbell. So this dude decided he just didn't want to play. He's on the sideline, he's stressed, and then he decided he didn't want to play. So
read Aaron's comment, dude. Read Aaron's comment.
Yeah, there you go. Yes. Look, you got this $2 billion stadium, and you can't put curtains up to keep your players from getting blinded when they're trying to make catches. Awful. And Aaron, you're right. You heard about that, right, Patrick? This dude, the linebacker, Devondre Campbell. So this dude decided he just didn't want to play anymore. He suited up for the 49ers, and the 49ers got Dre Greenlaw back from injury. Now, you remember Dre Greenlaw, he got injured running onto the field during last year's Super Bowl.
Yeah, I remember that.
All right. So he came back in this game against the Rams, playing hard, doing his thing. And then in the fourth quarter, he couldn't get back out there. Remember, he's coming off an Achilles tendon injury, so I can understand if he couldn't play anymore. Well, the coaches needed Campbell to go in there. He's like, I don't want to play anymore. So he didn't play. And they sent him back to the locker room. It was so bad, the general manager, John Lynch, came down and said, wait, really? Seriously? You don't want to play? Go back to the locker room. And then on top of that, you're going to be suspended for the year. And
no pay.
Yeah, and exactly. And much deserved. Much. Yeah. But are you kidding me? And here's the thing with this 49ers team, Patrick. You have these dudes. So check this out. Along with Dre Greenlaw coming back from this Achilles injury, you have a player on there who got shot during training camp, Ricky Pearsall. And he came back and played after getting shot in a robbery attempt.
Man, he's thug.
You got a corner in Javarius Ward. Now, this one was really sad. He lost his 1-year-old daughter. And he was back playing a few weeks later. So you have these players in that locker room doing everything they can to get back out there and play, and your ass is not going to play because you didn't get the playing time you thought you deserved. Get off the team. Get out. Don't want nothing to do with you. You're done. Out of here.
It's like, who is the guy that walked off the field for Atlanta? Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
Yo, deuces, bro. You don't want to be here? That's fine. Don't expect a check.
Yeah, just
$700,000 a game, and you're gonna walk out. Okay, bye.
And like you're getting either way. I don't know. I mean, not to sit here and get in people's pockets, but you're an NFL player, dude. You're getting paid a great amount of money just to suit up.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be over here talking about, oh no, man, I'm not gonna play because you didn't get the playing time you felt you deserved. I mean, give me a break. That's pathetic.
Yeah, that's beyond that, dude. That's beyond pathetic, dude. Like, you're doing something that. Now, don't get me wrong. He worked his butt off to get there, far harder than anybody else, or more people would be there, right? I get, but you're playing a game that people would love to be in your shoes. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would have loved to play Major League Baseball. Hell, I tried. It just way past my prime. You know what I mean? So for me, like at least I went out there and tried. You know what I mean? So I can hang my hat on that, and I'm good. You know what I mean? But you made it, dude. And this is how you're treating your team. The people that pay you to do a job, these guys that rely on you to do your job, and you're just like, no. Hey, if that's the way you feel, bro, go home. I don't need you. I don't need you. Because what you did is you just killed your stock at this team. One and two, no other team's gonna pick you up like that. So bye.
It's gross. I mean, it's ridiculous. And so before we get on out, man, let's end on a good note here. So I was thinking the other day, Patrick, because I was on YouTube, and I just, you know me in sports, you know, I'm kind of a geek when it comes to these things. So I was listening to different I was listening to theme songs.
Different. Oh, you are a geek.
I'm a geek, dude. So
I wonder what the Philadelphia theme song is.
No, not those theme songs. Like the theme songs when broadcasts come on. So like
even worse, dude. Why are you doing this?
Leave me alone. So I'm gonna ask. So I'm gonna ask you. So like, out of those theme songs, Patrick, like what's your best one, man? I know you're not a geek like me in this, but like, out of all the theme songs you have heard, whether it's, you remember back in the day with the NBA on NBC, maybe it's ESPN when they had National Hockey Night before they got it back. That song,
dude, you're gonna laugh at this. I love the theme song to In Living Color, dude.
In Living Color, what?
Do you know, in comedy, I love comedy, dude. Like Key and Peele's theme song.
Yeah. So from a sports standpoint, which
I don't have one. I don't know. I really don't even pay attention to it like that.
I'm a straight geek. I know
you are. You straight geek nerd.
I was listening to NHL or to TNT's NHL coverage, and I'm like, okay. And so I sat there and I was sitting there for an hour just looking through all the old school theme songs of all the sports stations and stuff. I'm a geek. Leave me alone.
Dude, I don't even know why you even brought that. I'm glad you brought that up at the end of the show. Not at the beginning.
Because I'm not the only geek out here, okay? I know there are other geeks who listen to the theme songs and they be getting hyped. When
I swear, if this show goes viral because of that, I'm going to be highly disappointed in the world. I'm gonna be like, no. Everybody's going to be like, oh, look, BOFA Sports, man, he's talking about theme songs. I'll be like, oh, hell. What? That's what's going to... Okay. I'll take it, but whatever.
Patrick. Out of all the stuff that has gone viral, that is not even close to the worst thing that we could go viral for. Okay.
I give you that. Hey, virtual high five.
What's coming up for Bro Epic?
So we're locking in a couple of shows next year for some dodgeball with some local businesses. So we got that. Teaming up with Pop Darts as well over throughout the next year. We're fixing to do a giveaway of some Pop Darts. They gave us some free stuff to give away to help drive up some subscriptions, and we're trying to get our football show off the ground. Probably the week of Christmas, we're going to try to do it. But I would say right now we're in a Pop Darts challenge. As you can see, our bracket is made for Pop Darts. So we're about to go through that and get some shows out for that as well.
Nice. And so real quick, and I forgot to tell you this, Patrick, I know Aaron had actually, I forgot what page he popped on. It was either the YouTube page or the Facebook page, but he had popped on to ask when you were doing the giveaway for the PS5. He had popped on and said, hey, where are you giving the giveaway at? And I put in the comments, I said, go to the official Bro Epic channel. And I don't know if Aaron got that. So Aaron.
So if you are watching, we're doing the PS5. It was for trying to get 5,000 subscribers on Bro Epic. But nobody was even looking at it. So I'm still going to do it. But we're doing incrementals now. So our giveaway is now going to be at 1,000 subscribers. We're going to do a Pop Darts set giveaway. 2,500. We're going to do what is it called? Bucket golf. And then at 5,000, we're going to do the PlayStation. So we're trying to. I guess what I'm trying to say is, instead of just shooting straight to the PlayStation, we're going to do incrementals up there and get more people. So the first 1,000 people that subscribe to the channel, then we're going to do a Pop Darts. Then 25, we're going to do bucket golf, and then at 5,000, we're doing the PlayStation. So we're giving it a little bit more incentive to get there, because we just weren't getting any traction with the 5,000. So
Aaron is subbed. He said he will still support either way. So
hey,
Aaron is
here's a good thing about it, Aaron. Go to YouTube at Bro Epic, subscribe there, do it on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and because we're doing it on all four. It's not just one. So if you subscribe to all four, then you have 4 chances for it.
All right. And
tell your friends, because the faster we can get there, the faster I can get the giveaway.
All right. And for this show, so a couple of housekeeping items. So this will be the last Tuesday show for the year. Next Tuesday's Christmas Eve. The next Tuesday following is New Year's Eve. So this will be the last Tuesday show we do for the year, but we plan on coming on there maybe on the 27th. So that will be a week from Friday, and it will be basically to review the first round games of the college football playoff and preview the quarterfinals, since those games will be played before we come back on the 7th of January. So keep that in mind. This is the last Tuesday show for the year. So with that will conclude this edition of the BOFA Sports Webcast. So y'all make sure y'all visit the BOFA Sports YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, and follow the BOFA Sports Facebook page. Man, appreciate it, Aaron. Thanks for your love, man. We appreciate you coming on there and watching.
Appreciate you. Yeah, definitely appreciate you, and I appreciate you for subscribing to the Bro Epic channel, because we're trying to do some really cool things on both of these channels, and definitely appreciate your support.
Absolutely. And so since we're gonna be out for the holidays, let us be one of the first ones to wish y'all a happy Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year as well. Everybody, you get that family time, just like take the time to reflect on this year and just value that time that you get with your loved ones, because it's a crazy world we're living in, and it's that, like, that time it's precious, and it definitely is something that should be valued, because you just never know what can happen these days. So take the time, spend with family, do a call, message them, wherever, do whatever you do, but make sure that you talk to your loved ones and take care of them. With that, hey, this has been a great year, and we hope for more when it comes to 2025 with even bigger years. So for Aaron and the other people who have come on here, left comments, interacted with us, thank you, and we hope you continue to stay with us and support us as we go on this journey. So until then, everybody take care, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we will see y'all on the other side. Y'all take care. Be safe.